Welcome back to part three of how to query your manuscript. We're at the Right Away After Party, as you know very well. I'm Kath.
And I'm Nick.
This is Nick, who is actually doing a fantastic job of filling in all the details. She is very methodical. She's very studious about how she approaches it. I was more of a, "Oh, let's shoot from the hip here. Come on, you can do this, Rathbone." So over to you, Nick.
Yes. Hi. Hi. Go back and watch episodes 1 and 2. I talked a mile a minute, so grab a piece of paper and pen and probably pause every once in a while. I gave a lot of tips and tricks of how to, develop this this thoughtful process. And it is a process. I want to take a deep breath and realize that, as excited as I was looking for an agent, it became like a really slow moving through mud process because I had 43 rejections. That was a lot. That was a lot of rejection. And it felt like a sharp pain in my chest every time because if you listen to episodes 1 and 2, you see how methodical I was in selecting these people. So every time someone turned me down, it felt like a personal attack. Like it really did. And I had to find a way to break free of that. And then this is what this episode is going to be about. It's going to be about selling yourself and keeping yourself motivated through the process because you are going to find roadblocks. And how do you keep going? How do you go around those roadblocks and keep going? Because success is on the other side of that roadblock. And if it's going to stop you, then you're going to have to find success elsewhere. And you can, and you can, especially in this day and age, you definitely can find success elsewhere. I just knew I really wanted an agent. I really wanted to be a creative. I'm going to have to learn how to sell myself eventually, and I will do that when the time comes. But I just really wanted someone that's going to be in my corner, be on my team. I like to work in a team. It's just part of my process. So I just really wanted that for myself, and I love being part of Kath's team because I get to motivate her to sell herself and I, in a lot of ways, that's kind of what an agent does. An agent kind of like motivates you, an agent out there pounding pavements, but my agent, gives me emails and kind of peps me up like, oh, we got that rejection, but look how great it was. It was such a great rejection. And he's always positive in that sense. And that's what I love so much about my particular agent. And that's one of the I talked about that in episode 1 was, the criteria of what you're looking for in your agent. I needed someone that was sunny and bright and positive. Someone that wasn't going to be, like, well, and put it back on my shoulders. Like the rejection was my fault in a way, but he never does that. He's always like, nope, too bad for them. They don't know what they're missing out on. So I love that. So what I want to talk about with this idea is when you decide that you are going to try to go for an agent, really take a hard look in the mirror and tell yourself you are deserving. Like you are deserving. The work is deserving. You are going to hand over your project to someone and they need to be deserving. So like just make sure that all of that meets the skyline and then just go for it. Like I really really recommend you just go for it. Pick at least 60 agents. And because I'm telling you, you're going to need about that many.
Six
And
zero.
yeah, and you can't do research on all of them. You just can't. You're just going to have to go with your gut on some of them. Some of them, someone's going to say a name and you're like, I'm just going to write that name down and see if the criteria that I'm looking for meets that person. Sometimes it's just about like, do they represent fantasy? Okay, I write fantasy. I'm just gonna go with that person. Like I just don't even know. Like I'm just gonna. Some of them really were a crapshoot, like for me, and I'm just like I'm just gonna go for this person. I have no idea why. I just have a gut feeling. I'm just gonna go for them. Some of them were just because they were open at the time. And I'm like, you know what? They just opened yesterday. I'm just gonna send to them. They represent what I want.
Basically it's a sales pitch.
Yeah,
And in the sales pitch, the most important part is you want to keep that funnel moving and full, because if the funnel is stuck or it's empty, nothing's going to move through the spout of the funnel, which is where your answer is going to come from. So again, don't take anything personally. If
no,
it hurts you, then when they reject you, find a way to embrace the hurt to
yeah.
serve you. If not, go away, read the Four Agreements, right, by
Oh, that's
Don
good.
Miguel
Yeah.
Ruiz.
Oh, really
Okay.
good book.
Be
Yeah.
impeccable with your word. And the number two one is don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Their docket is full. Always millions of books come through the print industry all the time. So
Yeah.
you know, just keep going, because even though they say no, it doesn't mean no forever. And you don't know why they say no, honestly.
You
Their
don't.
dog might be sick, they might be having a bad day, they've got to get to the dentist. Their boss said you have to get through 50 letters, and the easiest way to get through 50 letters was just typing a generic answer, no, I have no time. And
Yeah.
then suddenly you're all bent out of shape, but it's actually nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with
Exactly.
you. So
Exactly. It's
en-
not it
enjoy.
is it's so not a personal thing. Like even when my agent like came and he said no at the at
I
first.
remember.
So I mean, and I was gutted because I was at this point I was like, oh my gosh, that's the fourth agent's had a full and has said no. And I'm like, maybe I should just put this manuscript to the side. Like maybe this manuscript is just not the time. Not that there was something wrong with the manuscript. Again, like I was convinced there was nothing wrong with the manuscript.
Yeah.
It's just maybe it wasn't the right time for this manuscript. And
Oh,
oh,
the timer.
oh no, I forgot to set the timer. Have we had time?
We can do whatever we like.
Well, anyways, I say just don't take it personally.
No.
You just can't. And another thing too that I really encourage everyone out there that's out in the query trenches is find a partner, find someone that's out there with you. Grab, have someone that can motivate you, motivate each other. Pick 5 agents that maybe you can send together. If you have a sister in the agency, that's awesome because like you're like I would highly recommend 2 people sending to the same agent at the same time. Like just go for it. Who cares? You can lift each other up and if you both write fantasy and you're both going for the same agents, just keep doing it. And I think that's the best advice. I wish I would have had a partner in the process.
Well, there you go. We learn as we go. We learn as we
Yes.
go, and hopefully, what didn't work, we do better. I mean, you
Yeah.
can plaster your wall, create a washing line, hang all your rejections on there. And remember, every rejection means you're that much closer to a
Yes.
yes.
Yes. And
Bear
the yes
that in mind.
come.
It's thickening our skin.
Yeah. I would say, I think one last thing I would say is that
Mhm.
look for interviews with agents and kind of get to know what they're thinking. Because I'll tell you one thing that really, really, really motivated me this last time, that my last go around, that when I found the agent, was I listened to an interview with about 6 top agents. I mean, we're talking like, John Grisham agent, the agent for Stephanie Meyer. Like these were like top agents that were in a round table and they were talking. And the books they passed on during their, coming up age, they like are shooting themselves in the butt because they're like, I could have been, this person's agent,
Yeah,
and it's like, but they passed on their work.
they
And
have
they
a
talked
lot of
about and they
work.
talked about kind of why. And it was such a great motivator for me because I'm like, if they could pass on that, then there's nothing. Then my little book, of course, it's going to get passed on.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they'll pass on you because you didn't spell their name right, or because you typed the wrong month,
I
or
don't know.
because you wrote a sentence that had absolutely no grammatical feasibility.
Yeah.
If
I
this is the
mean,
way they're going to introduce themselves, goodbye.
and they're
Goodbye.
people. I mean, maybe
They're
they
people.
had a bad morning and they're looking at your stuff and they're like, I don't even want to read about, maybe they had a fight with their sister and they don't want to read a book about sisters.
Exactly. And then you come back a year later, same age and same book, and they're like, "Oh, I love this book so much." Mm.
Who
All
knows?
right, my darlings. I bet there's a whole other 3 episodes we could do on woo, why they reject us.
Yes, yes.
How can
Maybe
I
we'll
improve?
do an episodes on rejection.
We will. We will. All right, my darlings, have a wonderful rest of the week. And we love you here at the Right Away Party. We
Yes,
love that you join us. We love hearing from you and telling us what you want to hear more about and how we can lift you up during your writing process. Look out, there are lots of guests coming on board this year and
yes,
workshops,
yes.
more.
And maybe we'll have a query workshop. Who knows? But
Ooh, look
come
at
back
that.
and subscribe and like our channel, please. And we love you, writer friends. Talk to you later.
Bye.